we're back again.
Hi. How are you doing?
How you doing?
And again, we had communion in a sense.
So we want to continue with our what we were talking about, giving birth into the earth,
Yes.
a prophetic word.
That's right. We left off there. And if you want
The Spirit of God came to Mary and Joseph, and she was going to give birth into the earth by the Spirit, giving birth into the earth by the Spirit, a word. The Spirit of God came to John the Baptist's mom, and she was going to give birth into the earth.
That's right.
By a Spirit. All right?
Right.
So what happened when the initial process happened, they had to wait at least 9 months for the babies to be born.
That's right. That's what usually
Right?
takes, yeah.
And then we talked about how Esau and Jacob, the mom, you moms, you can be good moms, and you moms can be not the best moms.
A little hasty there.
A little hasty there. We can't choose our parents, and we can't choose our brothers and sisters, but we can choose how we respond to them. And if they made us, it was bad, we can be overcomer and we can conquer things. So there, just a short one. Maybe we'll talk about that on another video.
Yeah.
But anyway, the mom tried to manipulate it, right? And her son had to labor under Laban for, it might have been 14 years.
So you kind of wonder that he probably wouldn't have been able to labor, wouldn't have gone through that process if it was allowed to go the way God wanted it to go.
That's what we're saying. That's what everybody says.
Wow.
He had to labor because they tried to manipulate the process.
So you make a lot of work for yourself.
And then we talked about how Abraham and Hagar, and the son's name was
Hagar and
Ishmael.
Ishmael, yeah.
Okay. How was it Ishmael?
Ishmael.
Or was it? I don't know what it was. Anyway, the son, how he tried to make it happen on its own.
Right.
And how Moses tried
because
to
he got a word that he was supposed to have a son, and he couldn't
He
understand.
didn't see it happening.
Yeah, and so he said, well, this must be the way that God's
I got it figured out in my brain how I'm going to do it.
I believe it was Sarah thought, well, this must be the way, and she was the one.
Wives are wonderful. They're wonderful. But this is one of the examples if you're a husband and you got a spiritual wife, and they're wonderful. And he went there to the wife, and the wife said, blah, blah, blah. But when he actually did that, she got upset. So if you go, and your wife's a wonderful wife, she's spiritual, and she gives you advice, which be sure you check it out with God first.
Yeah.
If you would have went to the Lord and said, Lord, my wife has a handmaiden, and we're going to have sex and have a baby, and this is the way should it be? I think he's a good God, and he would have said, no. Yeah. But in both of those cases, though, I want to reiterate, God didn't count it against either one. God was going, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are you doing that? Okay, so here, and we talked about set time, that God gave Abraham a set time. God gave Moses in plague number, I don't know which one it was, fifth.
The fifth plague.
Right?
And he pointed a set time saying, tomorrow the land will do this thing in the land. And so it was the plague that he...
And if you got a prophetic word, and God did not give you a set time, and you go to God and said, when is it going to happen? And he doesn't answer, or he tells you soon or now, understand, soon doesn't mean soon, and now doesn't mean now. Believe you me, I know. So, which brings us back to the Gospel of Luke.
Okay.
See? Now, the last video, we took almost 25 minutes to get us to this place that we just we just talked about in 5 minutes.
We are trying to just go
because this is not necessarily an easy subject. But it really is simple, easy, not hard. God gives you a word,
No problem.
you got to wait for it to be a past.
No
Come to
problem.
pass.
We just have to be.
Oh, nope, we don't want to go to Luke.
It reminds you.
Never
of those,
mind.
It reminds you on the
We're not-
the crosswalks. They
Mhm.
say wait, wait, wait. I
Right.
just hear that thing going off my head. Wait, wait. So, I love God to have that little sign in your head when you get anxious for any kind of word to come to pass, that He'd go, wait, wait.
I was going to preach a sermon on, crosswalk, cross training,
Mhm.
cross shoes. But remember, if the light is bad in the crosswalk, even though it's a crosswalk, it can become a dangerous place because you're walking against the light.
Ooh.
Just remember.
Wow.
See?
That'll be a good
You got to
one.
wait for the light to shine on the crosswalk so
Wow.
the crosswalk doesn't become dangerous.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Hmm.
So we want to go to the book of Matthew.
Okay. All right. Matthew.
Right.
Okay. I'll get there.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 22.
Matthew.
Because we're going to look at
22.
these are prophetic declarations by the
Okay.
prophet.
So let me
And
read
I
them.
just learned sitting in church that the first human being that God gave a prophetic word, here, God put his prophetic word into the human being's mouth and he sent it out,
Wow.
was Enoch.
That's right. You learned that from
Darren.
Pastor Darren.
Pastor Darren, if you're
At
watching.
SRC.
SRC, if you're watching, Pastor Darren, hi. We love you. Say we love you,
We
Pastor
love you.
Darren.
Yeah,
God-
he's our coach.
Yeah, he's coaching us.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't told him he's coaching us, but you are.
Okay, so this
So let's go ahead and read it.
so all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying.
Stop right there.
Mhm.
See? They're talking about how the word was fulfilled that was spoken.
Yeah.
And this is in, if you look down here in the tiny print at the bottom of the page, it says, this is Isaiah 7:14.
Okay.
So I don't know how many years Isaiah, I could probably figure it out. So if this is year zero, well, Jesus hasn't even been born yet. But if you go here, you stay in Matthew.
Okay.
Okay, I'll find it. I gotta go back here because it's gonna tell me. See, it's gonna tell me. Come on, if I can find it. It's gonna find it. See, it's gonna tell me here.
Mhm.
In the very beginning of the prophets, I don't know if you can read this, probably not. That's okay though. In your Bible, Isaiah from 740 to 680, let's say, which was 40, 60 years,
Mhm.
all right? So let's say 30 years, so it'd be 710 years. Isaiah got a word, a declaration.
That's a long time to wait.
And it took 700 years for this word to come to pass, but there was no set time added to the word.
Wow.
No set time. Okay, so now we can go up to
Long
Matthew
time.
2, verse 5.
Matthew 2:5.
Yep.
And that says, so they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet.
So this was from Micah chapter 5, verse 2. When was Micah? I don't know. I gotta look back and
5:2.
look. He was around 735 to 710. Oh, he was only around for 25 years. So let's say 715. So 705 years before this event, the prophet spoke a word. So this prophetic word was hanging around for 700 years. Again,
Again,
with no set time.
no set time.
No set time.
It's a,
See, so go ahead.
When it comes to pass too, he's faithful enough to just remind you. Remember, you said that.
We're going to get to that. She is getting ahead. She's prophetically getting ahead.
Sorry.
Which is okay. No, you're setting the table. Okay, let's go to verse 15, chapter 2.
verse 15 of Matthew?
Chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 15.
Oh, 2:15?
2:15.
Okay.
Is it really 2:15?
2:15.
No, actually it's 2:12. So. No, 2:15.
Okay, 2:15.
No, I lost my place. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
It says, and was there until the death of Herod that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying,
Just stop right there. I mean, you could read it, I suppose.
oh, it's okay. This is spoken
By the
Lord
prophet,
through the prophet.
saying, spoken by the Lord through the human being, making a declaration.
Okay.
So your declarations aren't just, see, you've got these crazy people out there and they're talking about everything you say is a declaration. No, it is not.
no.
It is not. It's only if it's spoken by the Bible says holy men of old came as they were, empowered by the Spirit to speak. The same thing. A declaration is not a declaration unless the Spirit empowers you to speak. Good word, Tom.
Yeah,
Good.
it is. That's very good.
Okay, so this was
the Spirit empowers
Hosea.
you to speak.
Hosea 11:1.
I see that coming on you when you're empowered to speak. It's like you can't hold it back.
I can't.
It just
I
comes
know. It
forth,
just comes out.
and that there's a power behind it. So there's an actual power behind when you speak it. Speak it out.
Just happens.
It's like,
Just happens.
yeah. Okay,
It just-
I'll continue.
Hosea is 755 through 710. 10 from that's 45 years. Let's make the math easy. Call it 50 years, 25 years. So around 730. Again, all of these words were around 700 years ago.
Wow.
700 years, and now they're coming to pass.
And it's boom, boom, boom. Now
Right.
they're all coming to pass.
Right. All
And
come
when
to
it
pass.
happens, it's like, it looks to us like suddenly.
We'll
But
do
it
one
was-
more.
It was a
We'll
set
do one
time
more.
for it.
Right, but none of these words carry a set time. None of these words carry a time frame. So people this and then how about 17 to 217.
2:17.
Yep.
Right here it says.
Oh, I keep losing the spot.
Then was fulfilled what was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying.
So how many different people have we got?
We got Jeremiah in this one. Jeremiah, it's out of
We got-
three.
Isaiah, Micah, Hosea, Jeremiah, 4 different prophets.
Wow.
This was fulfilled. Again, these are fulfillments of these prophetic words. When was Jeremiah? I don't know. I gotta look it up. See again. 627 to 580. So we're talking 47 years.
Okay.
So let's make it easy 50. So cut that in half. So around the year 700 again.
Wow.
So 700 years.
Mhm.
The Spirit of the Lord came upon a human being. They made a declaration.
Mhm.
Okay. And then without a set time.
Mhm.
Without a set time.
Mhm.
And then it came to pass. Things
Wow.
began to happen through the prophetic declaration. That it says everybody can do that. The Spirit of God can come upon you, give you words to say, empower those words, and you can speak it forth. Just
Wow.
like we talked about, speak to your mountain.
Mhm.
You speak to your mountain. I'm not talking to your mountain. I'll talk to you and say, be empowered by the Spirit. Jesus' powerful name. But I'm not talking to your mountain. You got to talk to your own mountain. Okay, so you see that? Set time,
Yes.
no set time. And there is a Bible verse that says, in the set time, God sent his Son into the earth. So what does that mean? I'm going to get up.
That means
I got to get up.
there's a designated time.
A designated time.
That means it's not like ambiguous, just out there, like the other prophetic words.
See, hourglass. God had a designated time for Jesus to come into the planet. Now, he didn't tell us, he didn't say to human beings, I'm going to tell you what it is. But he had an hourglass.
Wow.
He had an hourglass. He maybe had some kind of watch. I don't know. He had an hourglass, and he takes his time, and he goes like this. There. He puts time on hold. And I don't know what you think about this, but what about this verse? He said to them, "It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own authority."
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
It's not for you to know the times or the seasons. If we read these 4 prophetic words by 4 different people, and none of them had a set time, and it's not for you to know when these words will come to pass unless God has given you a set time.
That's good.
Because once, and he takes time and he puts it on hold.
That's good.
There. And one of the reasons he does that, so he can be boss.
He wants to be God.
He wants to be God, and he wants you to know that he is God.
Yes.
And so, again, if you go try to wear yourself out,
Yeah.
like Abraham did, or Moses did, and try to bring it to pass on your own strength, see, you're going to mess up, wear yourself out, and then God comes along and he says, I'm going to bring it to pass in a set time.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it to pass in a set time. Now, if you've had to wait a long time, this is a very interesting insight. I think it is. So again, we're going to go back to Abraham, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I should have written this down. So we're going to go back to Genesis.
Okay.
This is very interesting. See, he had to wait in Genesis for the word to come to pass. And he had to wait, right, 24 years.
Right.
All right? I forget where I was at. Another page. Another page.
It came to pass. And it came to
17.
pass after 7 days.
No, you're in Genesis 7:10.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Noah.
Oh, that's Noah?
We want to go to Genesis 17.
17.
All right?
Okay. 17.
17 verse 1. Abraham was 99 years old, and then when it came time to, God was going to give
Mm-hmm.
Abraham a set time.
Mm.
Up to this point, there was no set time on that prophetic word when he was going to have a son. And you can read about it. Abraham's body was dead, and Sarah's body was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what it means to a woman, but to a guy, it's,
Mm-hmm.
no Viagra, no Cialis, or whatever that stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have, ED. They didn't have stuff for that then. And it says his body was dead, and Sarah's body was dead.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking double, triple miracle here.
Mm-hmm.
And God came to him and said, see, so he waited a long time. Now God finally shows up in person to tell him, hey, it's going to happen in 9 months.
Wow.
17, are you on 17?
Right here, 17.
See, he appeared here. And you go to 21. God was 99 years old, and the Lord appeared to Abraham, showing up. Verse 21, here he says.
And 21 says, but my covenant I will establish with Isaac,
And she has to turn a page.
whom
Turn the
Sarah
page.
shall hear
And bear
bear
to you at this set time next year. See, he gets a time frame on it.
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm. Next
Now,
year.
you can talk to these fakeazoid pastors and preachers. So they make a big deal out of Sarah laughing. God doesn't say that Sarah laughed was bad, but did you know they both laughed? And who laughed first?
Sarah.
Wrong answer.
Oh, really?
Okay. Okay, go to 18 verse 12.
18:12. Okay.
Sarah was listening at the tent door.
Oh yeah, it was at the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well advanced in age, and Sarah had passed the age of childbearing.
I don't know what that means.
Therefore
It's science. It's beyond me.
Sarah laughed within herself,
Saying,
after I have grown old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also.
so she's talking about her husband. He's old. She's old. Past the time of childbearing. And now God comes to them and says, homie geez, you're going to have a baby. I hope in the nursery the paint's not peeling off. You know, you got to repaint the nursery. Okay, so okay, let's have some math here. So let's turn back to page 17, verse 17. Now, which comes first?
17.
Wait, before you read it, which comes first, 17 or 18?
17 comes first.
Okay, try it. Say it again.
17 comes first.
And in 18, we talked about Sarah. So
Yeah.
in
17,
17,
which is several verses before, Abraham fell on his face and
laughed.
and said in his heart, shall a child be born to a man
It was
who is
100.
100 years old?
Right. Wow.
So it
So,
was
wow.
Abraham.
Was that like a negative confession? I think so. But God did it anyway because they were faithful.
Yes.
They were faithful.
Amen.
See? Who laughed first? He did. Then she laughed. And God didn't count it against them because they had been faithful those 24 years saying, we believe.
Wow.
We believe. Belief is important. Okay? So after that time, what I'm getting at is here, there's a guy. His name was Moses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Moses had to wait 40 years, right? Didn't he have to wait 40 years?
In the wilderness.
Yes. Right?
Uh-huh.
So we're talking about someone who had to wait 24 years. Long
Right.
time.
Wrong.
His
Long
body
time.
was dead, her body was dead,
Right.
and God comes despite the time frame. Okay, and now here's number 2. Okay, Moses chapter 3, or no, Moses chapter 3, Exodus chapter 3.
I'm not.
I get it, I'm not.
Okay.
Just Exodus. Genesis, Exodus.
Genesis, Exodus.
You're in 30.
There's
You
30.
just got to go 27 verses to the left.
Okay. Exodus 3. Do you want me to read it?
Yep, go ahead. Oh, if you got, it's fine. We're going to go overtime.
Oh, yeah?
Again.
Okay.
We're having so much fun.
Wow.
I know.
It's because I can't find it. It probably got taken away from my Bible.
Probably did.
Okay, Exodus 3 what?
1. 3:1.
3:1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame.
Right. The angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, I'm going to give you a set time.
And he looked, and behold, the bush was.
Right, we know the story.
Okay.
You got to go
Right.
fast. See, right? God is coming. He had to wait 40 years, but God came to him and said, now is the time of fulfillment. I gave you this seed, the prophetic seed, you know. Now is the time to birth it into the earth. Okay, one more
One more thing.
One more thing.
Okay.
So we're going to go find John the Baptist.
Okay, John.
It's either in Matthew or it's Luke.
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 Which one?
I think it's Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. I thought you was John.
Matthew, Mark, Luke. We're going to go to Luke because
Now we're going to go to Luke.
we are.
Okay.
Okay, I'll read it. Luke chapter 1, verse 7. This is speaking of Elizabeth. But they had no child because Elizabeth was barren and they were both well advanced in their years. Okay, now, so she had prayed to God to have a child.
Right.
And they were both well advanced in their years, right?
Yeah.
Waiting.
Waiting. Yes.
Waiting. Okay.
Yes.
And the Lord appeared to her just like the Lord appeared to Abraham when it came time for it to pass.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord appeared to Moses when it came time to pass. He had waited 40 years.
I see.
The Lord appeared in a form of an angel to her because she was waiting for to have a child.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
The Lord appeared to him, this is Luke chapter 1:11, and said, your wife is going to have a child.
Okay.
So if you've been waiting for a long time, when it comes time, the time for the word to come to pass,
Mm-hmm.
God will appear to you and say, now is the time. That's what I want to get at. See? He's not going to leave you hanging. If you've had to wait a long time for something to come pass, he will appear to you and make it so you know now is the time to not wait any longer.
Amen.
So if quit trying to make it happen on your own.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to wait, and you're going to have to wait a long time,
Mm-hmm.
find someone else's field and be faithful in their field and sow in their field.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes time, if it's a long time, God will come to you just like he did to Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
just like he did to Moses,
Mm-hmm.
just like he did to
Abraham.
and Zacchaeus and Elizabeth,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and say, now is the set time to come to pass.
Right.
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 So just like we waited, and actually we never thought about doing TV.
No.
Never. That was never on our, nope. And when we did TV, we never thought about, I didn't even know they had YouTube back in 2004,
No.
2007. No. And potential audience, when we did television, was 500,000. That is if you had the right time, because there were 500,000 happening.
And we did. There was a lot of times we thought, is anybody watching out there?
Right?
Is anybody really, are we really doing this for, for somebody? And
So we
just when we doubted, we
actually ran into a person.
yeah, that say, I saw you on TV.
That's right.
I was in the middle of the night, I woke up, and I was just flipping the channels, and there you were.
There you were.
And another one was right in a conference I went in
In another state.
In another state.
Right?
And in the bathroom, she saw me. She says, I saw you on TV, and you were playing guitar, and on. And I go,
And now, with YouTube, we have a potential audience all over the world.
yeah.
All over the world.
Can't imagine.
Can't imagine.
Exponential.
I don't know. We don't know where this is going to take us, but it's fun. Glory. Glory, hallelujah.
You're having fun.
Oh, I am. I love it.
Anyway,
I love it.
we better say goodbye.
And maybe, well, yeah, see, our time's up.
Yeah. There you go.
So we better say goodbye.
Perfect timing.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Did you tell them to
And
subscribe?
remember to thumbs up and to like and subscribe.
There you go. So we'll say goodbye again.
And so we'll see you till
See you
next
again
time.
next time.